Hi, Senator Lincoln Fillmore here. I'm thrilled to come to you from outside the state capitol for this week 4 legislative update. I'm standing here in front of the Mormon Battalion monument that's been on the Capitol grounds since 1927. This monument celebrates the Mormon Battalion, which in history, the thing that I really like about this monument is that as Mormon pioneers were crossing the plains, kind of literally being driven out of the United States, they were asked to come and help fight for the United States, and they answered the call. We're pleased to just be part of such a rich history here in Utah. We're halfway through the legislative session now. The first half of the legislature is focused on appropriations and budget committees, and I chair the Public Education Appropriations Committee. We finished our work this week, made our recommendations to the Executive Budget Committee. We hope that those recommendations will be carried forward. It represents, if it's fully passed and implemented, something close to a 14% increase in the value of the weighted pupil unit, which is the main unit of education funding in Utah. I'm really excited about that. I think it'll probably be the state's biggest investment in education ever. So I'm very pleased with the work that my committee did there. That committee includes a lot of your representatives, which include Candace Perucci, Jay Cobb, and several others from across the state. So we did great work and hope that that goes forward. Now that we're done with the appropriations part, for the next 3.5 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be focused on tax cuts. We focus on how we're going to spend the state's resources. Now I want to make sure that we're not taking more from citizens than we need. So I'll be working to get a large tax cut through the legislature. There are a lot of proposals on the table that include cuts to the gas tax, the income tax, sales tax, property tax, as well as several other forms of tax credits and tax exemptions. I want to put together a good package that's going to affect the most people, lower the tax burden on you and your families, and set up Utah's economy for continued strength and strong performance. Legislatively, we passed a couple of bills. It was kind of a busy week for me, in that I had a lot of bills that passed the Senate that are making their way over to the House, including a very important retirement transparency bill. It's vitally important to me that the legislature does not make promises to state employees that taxpayers can't keep. And so I want to make sure that as we are talking about the long-term compensation for state employees, that we're doing so in a responsible way. And that's why I'm working on Senate Bill 11 and Senate Joint Resolution 4 to make sure that all that we do on retirement bills are transparent and that we're not over-obligating future generations of taxpayers. That's a big thing that we're working on. We also passed some curriculum transparency, a lot of other things that I'm just really pleased about. I've talked about in previous videos, and I won't go into a ton of detail here. Here, I want to focus again on how much I value the interaction that I have with you, the people I represent. So I make these videos to try to keep you informed. I read all your comments that you post both here, if you're listening on Facebook, but you can also see it on YouTube. I appreciate those comments. We had a special day at the legislature today where I invited a lot of people that you have elected to represent you at the neighborhood level. We had 20 people up here at the Capitol, another several online, and it was really great to be able to have that back and forth. It's so important to me, while I'm up here and surrounded by other legislators and by professional lobbyists every day, to be able to make sure that I have regular connection with the people I represent. That, I think, is what I need to do to make sure that I'm the best representative of you that I can be. So please keep your comments coming. If you have any questions about anything the legislature is doing, please send me an email. And again, I want to send you an invitation to come and join me on the Senate floor if that's something you'd like to do. I had a couple of constituents do that this week, and they always report that they've had a good time. It's a good learning experience for them. They enjoy the process. And I hope that you'll take me up on that too. It really helps me to be able to connect with the people that I represent. So again, thank you so much. I'll come back to you again next Friday as we get closer and closer to the end of the legislative session. And thank you again so much. Bye-bye.